to be honest with you, Taran, I didn't make money. I didn't make money for at least 15 months in PI, not a dime. And I was spending money every month on marketing, and it was scary. Not gonna lie, man, it was scary. It
Yeah.
was scary. 15 months. My first PI marketing contract was for 50 grand, and I didn't see any fruit from that contract for a year. I thought I got burned.
That's a hard way to go.
50 grand, man, out this first contract, you know? But eventually they came through, and a year later, I started getting a bunch of cases, and here we are. So again, like you just kind of have to believe in the process. You have to believe that you have some type of, and honestly, I felt confident because I felt like we had a really competitive advantage. We were going in to at that time, which was a relatively untapped market. I was slowly building out a team to service our target demographic. So I felt like it was going to work. I believed in it. I believed it was going to work, and eventually it did. But yeah, personal injury is hard. I mean, it's not for the weak of heart, for the faint of heart, right? Because of those like cash flow, ebbs, right? It's not consistent, but that is the nature of the beast. And once you've built out that first, or once you planted those first seeds, eventually you build a farm.
Yeah, and you cycle it out. It's kind of like an investment ladder, you know? And I love the analogy to building a farm because let's say if it takes, 15 months for a case to get dispersed, once it's settled, well, if you were building cases every month after that, eventually after that pace, you're getting disbursements pretty much every month, every couple of weeks because you're just, working and grinding it that way. And a lot of people need to understand they have to get past, and I think this is a generational thing with the instant gratification, where it's very hard to somebody in this day and age to, think of yourself, for somebody to say, hey, put $50,000 down. You're not investing in anything other than marketing. So at the end of the day, if it doesn't work, you don't have an asset. So it's not like a house that goes foreclosed and you still at least have an asset. It's literally, a very big gamble and say, hey, in 12 to 15 months, you're going to get, reward. You're going to get a return on your investment. And in today's age, people don't even want to buy businesses where they're not, really recouping all their investment within the first 12 to 24 months, let alone, seeing just a little bit back. One of the questions I will have for you is, you mentioned marketing, right? So what marketing have you found to be the most effective in your specific niche, but also as a personal injury attorney?
So I would say one of the most efficient modes of marketing that I think is very often overlooked is local SEO. Local SEO is something that I think that a lot of lawyers and frankly businesses look at as an afterthought, but local SEO optimization has been incredibly fruitful for our firm over the years. And I really think it's something that law firms should take a really good look at to make sure that their local SEO optimization is thoroughly done. And that includes obviously, getting reviews, you know, and having a process for getting reviews on a regular basis, making sure they have a lot of links to local directories, are, engaging with their Google My Business profile. But local SEO it still is something that is incredibly valuable to our firm. And I think, again, something that a lot of law firms kind of look as an afterthought.
Well, I think, and that goes back to that statement earlier about instant gratification, right? A lot of people, a lot of attorneys, and I've worked with, like I said, I've worked with a bunch, and generally, first things they always ask is, when can I see results, right? And I believe that most marketing companies end up stuttering in that moment because do they tell them, hey, if we do the SEO correctly for you, local SEO, on page, off page, real SEO, not black hat, not gray hat, it's going to take anywhere between 3 to 6 months to actually start seeing some rankings. And really, you're not going to see the real return on your investment till probably 12 to 15 months later when you're starting to ranking. You're tracking the organic leads that are coming through. You're tracking the traffic in your website. And then, when you leverage it with paid ads, it just makes everything better. But they want to go into paid ads. And the thing is, paid ads are great. Don't get me wrong. They're great if you want, they're very quick at getting clients. But guys, you have to understand it's a very linear investment. If you're looking for exponential growth, exponential returns on your investments, generally PPC is not the way to go. I mean, yes, you can get a 4x, 5x ROAS, 7, 8x ROAS, but SEO right, is always going to be producing fruit for you. And it's kind of the same farm theory that Mark brought up. Because once you're at the top, once you're ranking, and once you have more keywords ranking that are, search friendly, you're going to get organic leads. Now, yes, you may have spent thousands of dollars for months on it, but if you plan on having a firm for 10, 15, 20, 30, 35 years, being at the top and having that investment and being able to say, hey, we generated 20 clients this month organically,